to love yourself. To love yourself at least. If you're not feeling okay out of your bed and go and do whatever, you have to just say, you know what, Maria, or whoever your name is, this is okay. I can take a day to rest. I can take a day to rest.
Perspective is a podcast about everything. The twist though is all me. My name is Maria Peters, and as a young social worker and business owner, I dare to believe I have a lot of valuable things to contribute to society. I decided to start this podcast simply to use my story to influence other lives and generate conversation. Perspective is on air.
Hi! hello. Okay, the reason I'm laughing, just to put it out there one time, is because I knew I would have a problem with my introduction, considering that I decided that I would stop saying, hey guys! So now I really just doesn't know what to say. But we'll go with the hi. My name is Maria Peters. This is Perspective, the podcast. Thank you all so much for viewing. Thank you for the love, the likes, the comments, the shares, everything. I'm here with a guest, as you can see. I'm not by myself.
Hi guys.
This is Micell. This is Micell Gomez. Right? I decided to bring Micell on Perspective for a number of reasons. But before I get into the topic that we'll be discussing, you want to say anything before we?
The floor is yours for now.
Okay. Before I get into the topic, Micell and I went to school together for 5 years. Right? At Sec. And now she is a lot. She's a lot of things. And as the conversation progresses, you will see, things will come out and unravel and unfold. Now, anybody that knows Micell knows that she's a mother. Right? Anybody, I feel like anybody know that.
Yeah.
Because she loves her child. And he's always on her Instagram, her stories, or her highlights, or whatever.
That's his Instagram, not mine. I rant on it.
Basically, that is what it is. And we're going to start the conversation around the whole lines of teenage pregnancy. Out of secondary school, becoming a mother, being, what to say, boy? Catapulted? Catapulted? I don't know if that's it.
Yeah.
Into adulthood, into motherhood, into...
Straight.
Things had to happen. Things had to happen.
Yeah.
Had a transition or things had to happen. No. So what was that like for you? We start that. What was that like for you? What was just go ahead. Tell me.
Life changing.
Right.
That is the word. Life changing. It was a major transition for me because I felt like I had a plan.
Right.
And I wouldn't say my plan had to be stopped completely.
Right.
It just had to be slightly altered.
Right.
I changed my perspective on life itself.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was really amazing for me, to be honest.
It was amazing?
Yeah, it was.
What was amazing? Let me be shocked.
No.
But I can't get shocked because
the entire thing of it for me was, like I knew I was a mature person.
Right.
But changing your whole perspective on life, indeed, it is completely different. It will have things that I would want to do, used to want to do, that it just wouldn't come to my mind anymore because that's not my life anymore. I'll have things I want to spend money on that just
no
priorities, everything changed, and it changed really good because I think if I went the other way,
this is so amazing.
I don't think I would have been a business owner,
That's so amazing. I just want to plug that. That's one of the major reasons that I decided to have this conversation, because of the very big myth, I would say it's a myth, that your life ends at that point. At that point. It's not to say, I ain't telling nobody who in secondary school to go and make no child. I'm just saying that should that be a circumstance, it's not the end of your life now. And I feel like that's generally what is in this popular culture. So the thing you say that is amazing.
I think it's based on the kind of background that the person has in terms of their family life growing up.
Okay.
Because some mothers back then, that's how they would kind of think, and they would kind of put that into your brain, like you don't want to have a child now, like you have things to focus on. But I wouldn't say it was the end of my life. I would say it was the entire beginning. As opposed to starting your life at 1, I think my life really started at 18. Right? And I would have been a different person. I'd have been doing a different degree.
Right.
I probably would have ended up in a job that I didn't want to stay in.
Right.
You know, so it changed my entire view.
So your parents are supportive of how?
Oh my
what was
gosh.
he? Okay, don't tell me what when the come around because it does come around. But was the initial?
No.
Initial.
There was no come around at that time. Okay, so brief history of me. My parents broke up when I was 3.
Right.
And I always wanted to live with my dad. My dad was a part of my life, but not as much as my mom, of course. And when I finally reached 18, I was like, listen, I'm going to live with my dad.
Right.
Because I thought I made have had a certain amount of freedom there. I am my father's only daughter.
Right.
What freedom am I gonna get?
Right.
He wants to be married. Oh, have a boyfriend when I'm 40.
Right.
But of course, you know, showed him I had a boyfriend who was serious about me and I was serious about him. And of course, I was probably living by him probably about 3 months at that time. And when I came and I sat down, I had a conversation with him.
I knew what's right now.
His first thing was like, well, mid-conversation, you must pay out for this. I was like, what?
The conversation was just that you have a boyfriend. Not
No.
pregnant.
Yes, he knew I had a boyfriend at the time. He had met my boyfriend at the time. But yeah, you know, the conversation was...
pregnant.
Yeah, it was a pregnant.
Yeah.
And that was literally his reaction. Now, I mean, as my mother always say, you would always expect your girl child to be pregnant. And you may always expect your boy child to end up in drugs, guns, violence, or you have to go to the court every Monday morning, right? That's what my mom would always say, you know. So, it happening, I mean, not to say that she would look at her daughters a certain way, but it's expected to happen. Right. It's just a matter of time as to when. And, you know, for my mom, we didn't finish with my dad, but my dad was basically, he was like, well, you're having it.
Right.
You didn't give me an option. I came to you with what I have.
Right.
And you say, well, there's your option.
Okay.
He's like,
so you explored. I mean, I don't know if you can.
Explored. I wouldn't say because at the time when I found out I was pregnant, I was almost going into 3 months.
Right.
And I know for most girls they'd be like, how you would know you're 3 months pregnant?
Yeah.
But I suffer with hyper and hypothyroidism.
Okay.
So with that being said, you tend to have a lot of bodily changes
that
you can't control,
hormonal changes,
and you're not sure what exactly is
Right.
happening. So for me, one of the major things with it was a lot of weight gain,
right.
a lot of sleep, and my menstrual cycle would be really far apart at that time. So for me, it was normal.
Okay.
I was literally walking down Henry Street one morning because I used to work Woodbrook at that time, and nausea kicked in, and I was like, damn, don't tell me there's it. Ran to the pharmacy, took it as I reached the work, and I'm like,
wow.
This is me in the bathroom that feels like a matchbox, a toilet that feels the size of a matchbox. I'm like, but I mean, I know I would have a good support system. I expected less of my parents, to be honest, but their support was amazing. My dad was really supportive. He was like, listen, we in this, whatnot and whatnot. You telling your mother though, not me. I was like, oh my gosh. I told my mom.
So tell your father what kind of living with him?
Because I was living with him. That was, I remember.
So you see him there everything like
No, I found out the Thursday night. I told him. I found out Thursday morning. I told him Friday night.
Okay.
And then that Sunday, it happened to be Mother's Day. Well, yeah, that Sunday wasn't me, so it was Mother's Day. So I called my mother. I told her Happy Mother's Day, and she's gonna be a grandmother. And she was like, I don't know already. I was like, what? She was like, your grandmother called me and told me she dreamed fish. So everybody don't know the old people saying is when you dream fish, somebody pregnant.
Right. So now she knows you.
Well, yes, I mean.
Right, okay, so she wasn't shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
That didn't seem like too hard. It doesn't seem too hard.
I mean, the only thing at that point in time, I was not going to university. December of the year before, which was the same year we finished school, 2015. I had applied at Roy Tech to do my bachelor's in primary education. I really wanted to go into primary school teaching.
Right.
And I got a job in January at a preschool in Woodbrook just to get some experience, you know, because at primary school level, they don't let you train in primary school until you're in the last year of your bachelor's degree, right? That's when you get the live and direct training, on-the-job training, right? So I went into ECCE for a little bit just to get some experience and whatnot. And
Yes, I was asking. I think it wasn't that harsh, and you're saying that.
Right.
You
So,
applied for a degree.
Right.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, when I found out the Thursday, the Friday, they keep postponing my class, right? Because at the time they wasn't getting enough applicants.
Right.
And when I finally got the test, the next day they told me, well, the class is gonna start in September. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be pregnant in my first semester of university, and it's really a tough decision because my mom thought I wasn't gonna go through the class anymore, and she was like, I wouldn't use the word disappointed, but I'm a bit sad that she didn't go through with your degree. I was like, well, my degree can happen. It don't have to happen right now. I mean, just think of it as a gap year.
Yeah.
I was like, I got 3 years.
They started low.
But I started my associate's degree.
In the same thing you wanted to do?
No.
Something different?
Yes, because that lovely child of mine conditioned my mind that that's not what I wanted to do.
And what do you do now?
I am doing my associate's degree in business management.
Oh, right. That makes perfect.
Yes, I love sales, I love marketing, and I want to be able to run my own business properly.
Right. That's a lot. And all that we know that we talk there is just context, is background history, let's say. But like, what do you think about the whole stigma? Okay, you don't have to call names, but I'm sure people, either in your circle or just strangers who feel like they could put them out in business, had a lot to say about you being pregnant.
Yeah.
And what was that like? Like, how you dealt with that experience? And
how I dealt with the experience, I listened to what she had to say, and I said, okay, thanks for your opinion, and I moved on.
And that's all. And that was easy to do because you had support.
Yeah, I had the support that I needed.
Too much.
I had support of his dad, I had support of my parents, I had support of his parents, and that's all I needed. If I didn't have any friends, well then that's on you guys. This is my life.
You made that sound very, very easy. What was challenging? Because so far, everything that I asked her seemed like it was just smooth.
I mean,
what was challenging?
The only part of it was mildly challenging for me.
Mildly challenging, what?
It would be for anybody. Is the FOMO, fear of missing out.
Right.
So that was the year that back then, island crashes was a big thing, right? And that was the year that I finally was supposed to go island crashes. Right. And can't go with a baby bomb. Right. It wasn't a decision where I would sit down and be like, please, why God making this child like a party? No, it was not a decision like that. I just felt like at that point was when my life was actually supposed to start. Okay. Like my parents keep telling me, okay, when you finish school, you can do this. When you finish school, you can do that. So it's like, okay, now I'm finishing school. I just had this brief time where I could just, go out late and chill with friends and, do grown-up stuff basically. And then I was like, okay, no, I have to stay home a lot and do grown-up stuff because
real
grown-up
stuff. The stuff before the party, you don't think it's not grown-up stuff. She had the real grown-up stuff. Still want the real grown-up stuff. That's something. I was gonna ask something. What it was like, if you don't mind me asking, like financially, in terms of how you adjusted. You still worked and.
Yes, I worked for most of my pregnancy. I stopped working briefly in August. I can't tell you the situation why. I wouldn't say that. It's right, but it was a conflict at workplace. Right. So I left my job because of that, and because I sew, my mom sews, of course. So I used to help her with work, and I used to get money from that, and that's how my income was.
He's born in what month?
November.
August.
Yes. And I did everything privately except for making. So I went to Sandy Granny Hospital to do the birth. Everything else before that I did privately. I did all my ultrasounds, all my medical labs, everything. And it was a bit costly.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't imagine actually. I want to be able to imagine, but I don't think my brain can imagine.
It's $300 a visit. $300 to $400 an ultrasound.
And it's every month something?
Not necessarily. I did 3 ultrasounds. Sure, the whole pregnancy would have been 2, but the second one I did, the person did it wrong, so I had to go spend more money. And because of my thyroids, if it went into let's just say overdrive, I could have miscarried. So I had to constantly monitor that, and that test is like $500. I did that blood test probably about 3-4 times, and then you have to do tests to. I found out later on in my pregnancy I ended up being anemic, so it had a high possibility that I would have needed blood. I had to do blood tests for STDs, STIs, those kind of stuff, beginning and end of pregnancy. What else?
A lot of money. That's what it is.
A lot of money.
That's what it is. A lot of money.
Probably about roughly by 7 months, I roughly spent about $5,000 by the doctor alone.
And you have to buy.
Yeah.
Papa,
I don't feel like we spent much money on that because our family was so supportive that they just helped us. What do you guys need? This, that. And every time I blink, there's a new box of Pampers, a new box of baby clothes, this, that, and I'm like,
that's a blessing. That's a real.
I literally felt like before he was born, I probably spent about $300-400 in new stuff, like vests and socks and hats and little outfits, and that was it. Everything else was gifted to us until basically he was about 2, and I was like, oh, he needs new clothes, and then that was it. So for like the first 2 years, I literally feel like we didn't have to buy clothes or anything because our families were just supportive, and this is not us asking for support. This is us being they are seeing that we are adulting. Okay, well, I'm seeing that you guys are meeting us halfway. That's how you know. It's not to say we're sitting down and we're not doing anything. So that's something I was really grateful.
How has the entire experience, changed? Your life, like where not necessarily your degree and having a business, all those things, but things that you value, things that are important. Things that you prioritize, because outside of him obviously being...
This is before or after the debate?
Afterwards.
Okay.
Like, outside of him being obviously the number one thing in life, you as an individual, what
well, as you can see, it took you a very long while to get me in this chair.
That's very true. that's
because of my schedule. Because of my schedule, because of him, he's priority, of course. So if I say, well, Maria, I can't make it today, I have my child, and that can't be understood by you, well, then I say to myself, okay, well, Maria, I can't understand my life, I don't feel we can be friends anymore.
Like, the whole friend. That's fair though. Like I would laugh and say, oh, the whole friendship, but that's fair. Like, this is big woman. This is not this is
one thing I appreciate about my friends is if they say, well, pre-COVID, if they say makes us hang out, and I'm like, well, now I have friends. All right, cool. I understand another time. If they can't understand that, then we can't be friends. I can't palm off my child just so, and I'm not putting him on any and everybody. He literally goes by his dad, his grandmother, or that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Yeah. Nobody else. And I can't. That's not my mom's child. That's my child.
Right.
So that's my responsibility. You wouldn't get to do everything you want to do, but that is your choice. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
That's the life change I made, and I wouldn't say it was something bad.
What you have any? Okay. So first, I was saying before off air to someone else that I have to be very careful about how the lines walk with this conversation, because I am not saying to go and make a child. That's what I'm not saying. Everybody in the world that knows me knows that I'm a Christian, and I say, I am certain, I tell it only what the Bible says. Sex is a marriage. Don't go and say, Maria, say on your podcast, you can have a child because your life is ending, because that's not what I'm saying.
Correct.
The reality is though, logically, practically, circumstances happen. Did you plan to be pregnant?
No.
She didn't plan to be pregnant.
No,
and
that was very early in my relationship.
You don't early in your relationship?
We weren't even together a year yet when that happened. But I trusted the individual. I trust him to this day as well.
Right,
he is a very excellent father.
That's nice to hear. But okay. That's reality of it. You're in a relationship, I can't judge everybody by Christian standard because everybody's not Christian. I'm not going to condemn because that's not my job. People, half a 3/4 problem of viewers having sex. Only having sex. Okay.
It's not our business.
It's happening.
It's happening.
The reality is, if you happen to get pregnant, unplanned, it's not to set your wrist or hang yourself or call it quits. Definitely not have abortion. Definitely not. I feel like there's people will kill me for this. People will kill me for being pro-life or whatever. But that's me. I am pro-life. People pro-choice in 2020, and that's great, whatever. But I am pro-life. I feel like children are gifts, blessings.
That's true.
That's like, it's like a mini version of you, and hopefully the person that you love, or like your best friend, somebody you trust, somebody you would like to raise a child with. Hopefully it's a mini version of you and that person, and not just somebody who you happen to jam once and then.
Okay.
That's a whole discussion. But the point is, that's what a child is. A child is not supposed to be something that makes you feel like your life is over or something that you regret.
End.
Yeah, because it's not meant to be that. So
I think a lot of the times when somebody gets pregnant, it always kind of happens to be a wake-up call.
Okay.
Because depending on their situation, the person they're with, their finances, their lifestyle,
Right.
it would either be most of the times is a time to settle down or watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
You understand? And for me, I think it was a time to settle down. Because I feel like if I was not blessed with him,
Right.
I would have spent my money on lots of parties, liming.
Let's say money, but your time,
My time too, yeah.
Time.
But because of it, I tend to money manage a bit way better. But
you see, I don't get my idea. Not that kind of idea, but I need some help managing money, guys. Anyways,
I have a few apps.
Okay.
That really helps. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we'll talk about that.
But it really is a wake up call.
Right.
Depending on where you're at in your life.
Do you have any advice or what you like to say? Like, I feel like before going to the advice, or actually going to tell me the advice, do you have any advice to somebody who is, somebody who either facing unplanned pregnancy or may happen to face it, and then they could call on this advice?
Pray. A lot of
I thought that's life advice, guys.
A lot of prayer got me through my pregnancy because unfortunately the first half of my pregnancy, his dad was not around.
Right.
He did not live in Trinidad.
Right.
He went away, and that was how Prince was conceived right before. Right. So he had to come back down due to unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
And a lot of prayer got me through that time when it felt like it was just me alone.
Right.
I mean, yes, my parents were there, but of course, if I'm not having a child with my parents, I'm having a child with him.
Right.
So, I mean, during that time, a lot of prayer helped.
Life advice, guys. Life advice.
I mean, at that time I was working at a preschool, so being around other children really helped me a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm gonna have to go through. Okay, I need to calm my anxiety from now. Yeah, because my patience level was, I would go from 0 to 100. I mean, my patience level is way better now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, take a time out. I'm gonna sit over there, you're gonna sit over there,
right.
so we both don't explode.
Right.
But
tell me about the self-love journey, because this is
oh my gosh.
the loving the mommy tummy and the stretch marks and all those things.
And the 2 sides up from your bra. 2 sides up from your clothes. What is it
before
like?
I reach the point of that, because I know from social media that now we're at a place that is different, more like you publicly express that self-love and so on. But before that, it had a struggle between, like,
yes.
Yeah, what was that like?
It was terrible. I would find myself shopping for, well, of course, being a mother at my age,
right?
I wouldn't say in 2020, but of course, being a mother at my age, I would be very skeptical about what I wear and how I portray myself,
right?
Because I don't want to fall under the category of the young mothers are just out there.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, yes, I am young and I can't live my life, but at the end of the day, I also have to remember I'm a mother too.
Right.
You know, and no child want to grow up to a mother on the internet like that, so you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I would be skeptical about things that I would wear, but it was also kind of hard too, because I mean, it would have things that I would want to wear, and then I'm like, nah, my mommy tummy can't fit into this, my stretch marks gonna be outside,
Right.
you know, my boobs can't hold up that, and it was really, really tough because I would literally have to, if you say we're going out, you need to give me a week's notice because I need to have time to shop and find an outfit that I'm fully comfortable in.
Right.
You know, that I still feel like I can fit in with the crowd my age, but still feel comfortable in something.
And covered.
You know, and covered, yeah. But it's really, it had times I'd cry, and have times I would say, I'm not going out again.
Right.
Like an hour before we would go.
Right.
I'm not going out again. And have times that my friends will have to call me and be like, you're putting on this, you're wearing this, da 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 da. And I'll be like, it's not about feeling accepted or anything like that. It's just seeing something and you know it will look nice on you, but not for that body type. You're feeling like,
yeah, I mean, we just see it though, like, even though you see somebody in things, and it's like, they're nice tights, they're very nice piece of clothes you have on, but just
not for you.
Not for you.
And I feel like that's wrong.
That's
and in a way, I feel like it's wrong because
I understand what you're saying though. I mean,
I don't want to say everybody could wear everything. I don't want to say that.
Right.
But I feel like we're not accepting certain body types.
Okay.
This is part of the reason why I have a swimsuit brand.
Right.
Because I'm tired of searching for these US stores. Some of these local stores that import US stuff.
Right.
And you're only seeing extra small, medium. You'll be lucky enough to see a large, and the large would actually be able to fit a medium.
Right.
Right? The sizing chart is totally off.
Right.
And I'll be like, I can never shop here because I can't ever get anything to fit me.
Right.
My boobs will fall out. Here will be outside. Here will be... No.
Yeah.
Here will definitely be outside.
Right.
And I better just keep my money, you know? So...
Makes sense.
I had a lot of customers. Oh, guys, by the way, shop Velvet too.
Yeah, drop your handles, Joy. You can drop your handles just now.
I had a lot of customers who would message me and be like, well, you know, there's an idea of what I want, but you know, bring it a little higher up on the waist, a little more coverage on the basket, and don't like my belly outside in it. And then I realized, okay, a lot of girls are experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing. Right. And I was like, okay, I want to start a self-love journey. Like, I partially love myself, but I feel like I don't love myself enough.
Right.
I can love myself more. Right here means love myself first.
Okay.
And I need to be able to love myself more.
Right.
I need to be able to show people that I can love myself. And I want to be able to influence other ladies to do the same. Because a lot of them. And
that's not only in relation to having children, and having a mommy, tummy, and shit.
A lot of them don't have children.
Yeah. Just
some of them do, but the others don't. It's just their genetics. It's just puberty. It's just.
And the funny thing is, it's not only because I shared that visual perspective before, like long time last year, about the insecurities of being extra small. It's not only being extra big, like extra big is get a lot of attention, but being extra small is.
Especially when sometimes you can't help it because you have eating disorders, you have anorexia, you have a lot of stuff.
You have so many factors involved.
A lot of diseases and illnesses that you physically can't eat.
And society doesn't make it easier.
Society does not make it easier.
Social media definitely does not make it easier. That's they heartless, they ruthless, they have no care, no regard for your feelings. And you just have to go through that and figure out how to love yourself in spite of that. That must be challenging. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it must be challenging because I don't have the problem, but I just feel like it's not comparable to the magnitude of others. It depends on how their life would have been. Especially like in your case, is not. Well, I mean, I should say more like in that case or something. It's like you really can't do anything. People will just say, squat more, do some jumping jacks, push-ups, squat workout, run some laps. It's like, I've been doing that.
But the thing is, why do people have to do that? Why can't I stay the size that I am?
Well, I guess it comes down to if you're comfortable with that size.
To me, it all boils down to this. Are you physically healthy at that size?
Right.
If you are, then continue to live your life.
Well, if you're comfortable, because some people just like a particular body type, because...
but the thing about it is, Maria, society hasn't made it comfortable for people to
okay,
say, I'm comfortable at this size.
Yeah. I'm afraid to admit that I like this.
Society have always made the acceptable
everything
size a size 2.
Yeah.
So if you ever looked at America's Next Top Model or those US runway shows, they would consider somebody plus size my size.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm plus size.
I don't like the plus size either, to be honest.
Plus size would be somebody. It's like a 2X or 3X, right? And to me, I feel like I'm average.
Right.
You guys are small.
Yeah.
You know, but in the US, they would want to say I'm overweight.
That's what popular culture is, because you know, in terms of social media and so on, and TV. When you look at TV and just in media, on television, it's not.
It's very. It's stereotype. It's based on
it's like
the average size 2 fair-skinned girl with blonde hair, and that's not how it should be.
Hair.
Well, now it's transitioning into curly hair, but when you look at a lot of models and stuff, long time, or just to be one type, you only see that one type.
But there is you know, evolution, I would say, in terms of, because now we have a lot, you know, black. You love yourself, love your melanin, love your hair, love your nose. So it comes around. But the reality
it's taking too long.
Yeah, the reality is it's low. And
that's
we have a love for ourselves.
What everybody else portrays on it, especially the US. A lot of countries zone in on the US and their views when they shouldn't do that.
Basically, your self-love journey cannot be dependent on
anybody but yourself.
Yeah. On any social media, anybody else. Not even your friends, and your close friends. You have to, because God forbid a day, somebody who you're accustomed to having their chain you and so on is not around. You have to be able to love yourself through it. You have to be able to get yourself up, to motivate yourself, to push it. You have to be able to do it. You have to be able to have that innate, intrinsic drive, at least to, you know, to love yourself. To love yourself at least. If you're not feeling like get out of your bed and go and do whatever, you have to just say, you know what, Maria, or whoever your name is, this is okay. I can take a day to rest. I can take a day to relax.
Okay.
Do that.
It's okay to love yourself and to care about yourself. It's okay to say, listen, I'm going to sit here and watch one more episode of Netflix, because I know that it's going to put me in a state that I'm relaxed, I'm calm.
And better able to function and do whatever else I have to do. So it's not... the standards that we have, basically, some of the standards that exist in terms of how...
It's trash.
Yeah, it's trash. How women should
be
do certain things.
The jobs they should have.
Yeah. Women
should not be housewives. If you choose to be a housewife, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to pursue a career and have a husband and children, that is also okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's essentially what it is. It comes down to... Of course, there are confines, right? There are confines within the law and, you know, morality. You don't say, oh, I want to be a good man and Maria and make it see a perspective. I can shoot people because it's my right. And
no.
There's a context to everything.
We're not saying that.
And take it in context. The reality is, you have to have your back. You have to love yourself. You have to push through. If you happen to have not only like a pregnancy or something, but anything in life that can happen that might change the trajectory of your life, it's not the end. It's not the end. It could be the loss of a loved one. It could be a failed class or a failed degree, whatever. I don't think it's failed degrees. I don't know what it's work. But whatever it is that you planned that didn't go as you planned, figure out how to bounce back.
The most important thing, the first thing you have to do when anything happens, stop, take a breath, and pray. Because prayer has gotten me through a lot of situations that I thought I would never get through. I never thought I would get through a pregnancy. Not at all. I never thought I would have made it to be a mother of a soon-to-be 4-year-old, to have a business, doing my degree, having a 9 to 5. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of tears.
And I really appreciate that she shared that I don't have to say that because everybody know I would say that. I would say pray. But she's speaking about her personal experience, her personal life, her journey. Prayer works. Prayer helps. It brings comfort. It brings peace. And yeah, it's life advice really.
Personal secret. I would really like to step out of my 9 to 5 and just strictly pursue
your business.
My business, right? Because I have 2 other businesses underneath it that I want to bring up.
Right.
Which is a men's collection and a clothing line.
Right.
Right? Because as you know now, I only do swimsuits.
Right.
And 2 nights ago, I said, okay, I have 4 orders to do because my deliveries are Mondays and Thursdays. I was like, I have 4 orders to do, Lord. After that, I don't have anything else for the next upcoming weeks.
Right.
What is gonna happen? Boom, my phone pings up. Beep, beep, bing. 3 more orders. I was like, Father Lord, thank you, because you know how much I want this.
Yeah.
You know, I prayed about it throughout COVID. I was like, Lord, these are the ideas I have. Yeah. This is what I want. And I seriously pray and manifest about the things that I want.
It works, guys. It's not jokes.
This is not a joke. This is serious. You know how much times I cried through COVID? I was like, oh my God, I'm not making any money. What is happening? And I mean, I prayed a lot.
Tell me 10 recommend.
I thought that my business wasn't gonna be a business anymore, because just at the point where I started to get it off the ground, you know, run through Carnival, I'm like, okay, I have all these ideas. COVID come and be like, nope, I'm here. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't doing nothing.
No beach.
So
nothing.
Everybody's inside, and then I had this one customer. Shout to Jessica. I'm gonna send her this. I had this one customer who stumbled upon my page, and she's like, "Listen, I want this here," and she bought 5 pieces one time. That was like 2 tops and 3 bottoms, right? And she said, "Okay, this is an underwear that I want to get made to match a top that I have." And she had me on this wild goose chase, shopping all these clothes just to get it. I'm like, I'm not getting it. And I was at the point where I was really, really frustrated. I was like, I have to cancel this order. Mm-hmm. But after I finally got it, I was like, okay, cool. I got it to her, and she's like, Gil, you have no idea how much, you know, it was a great help, whatever. And then she was like, no, I told her, like, you know, doing all of it again kind of really sparked something in me.
Right.
And from then, it just went into overdrive. Yeah. And she started recommending a lot of people to me. I started having new ideas, and then from the time you know it, every day I have a new swimsuit to post. Every day I have something to promote. Every day I have content on my page, and people are just coming, until I'm like, listen, I need this to be an easier way. I need like an order form, some sort of management. Yeah. Boom, I have my website now. So
plug.
And all of it happened through prayer, because every single morning
I hard work. I don't like feel like it's prayer and people pray and come before to the work so.
If Maria watches my feed as much as she says, she would have seen the amount of night I go to bed when sun comes up, and I have to still go do a 9 to 5, and I see about a 4 or 3-year-old, and then still go make swimsuits, and then after that I still have to go home and build my website again and again, and then that's how my days go. So that's why it took you so long to get me here.
Yeah, even when I know, and I can't even upset because like the viewers know, my viewers know, especially people who have me on social media, on WhatsApp and stuff. We be burning the midnight oil, especially as a business owner. You have to such thing as done work, right? It just doesn't.
So they hear and the birds going tweet, tweet.
Yeah, you have to be up and see the sky getting bright and.
Listen,
oh my God, I'm exhausted.
I have to go sleep with a sleep mask on because the sun is coming. I'm like, oh damn, I have to be up in the next 2 hours.
It's pretty crazy, and this is making us here because she is a testimony. She is an example that. Things can happen that you didn't plan, and that's okay, right? Is okay to adapt, it's okay to change, it's okay to have backup plans, and it's okay. Surround yourself with people who love you, who support you, who mean well, who wish you well, who have your best interests at heart, who pray for you, you pray for yourself, work hard, and really just wake up every day and go get it. Go get it, guys. It's really very simple.
Go get it. You have to know it, you have to want it, you have to pray for it, you have to manifest it, you have to push through, because it will have slow periods, it will have hard times, it will have tears, it will have a lot of things in this life that is going to block you.
Yeah.
It's gonna have, hey, I want to go get this piece of cloth and nowhere have it in stock, I can't do my order anymore. No, select something else and keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, know how to figure out the bounce back and just really, I don't know. Love yourself through it all. Love yourself through it all, basically. Do you have anything you want to say before we... Okay, drop your handles. What you have?
_.mix on Instagram to follow my self-love journey. You can also follow it on @VelvetSwim on Instagram, @VelvetSwim on Twitter. and velvetumtt.myshopify.com for my website. It also has a mile brief in there as well, and you can shop all the swimsuits, all the pieces, custom orders, everything.
I would drop the I would drop the
links below. Somewhere down here.
Somewhere, right? So, right now my brain already functioning. But yeah, I would write it out and so on, you will see it. Show it love, guys, because everybody is out here trying to make it. And she's trying to make it with another human that is dependent on her, right? Right. So just
side note, you don't have to post your self-love journey. Your self-love journey can be your own private journey.
Yeah.
I just choose to post mine because I realized there was a lot of persons within my age, older and even younger, that go through the exact same thing I go through. It may not be a teenage pregnancy, but it may be struggling with their body type, struggling with what society looks at them to be or to be to them as, you know. And I said, okay, I have to be public about this so I can be able to advocate and help others as well, you know. So you don't have to post it. It's your journey on your
Just
own.
be progressive, guys. Be progressive. That's basically the point. Be progressive, right? My name is Maria Peters. This is Perspective Me Podcast, and thank you very, very much for tuning in. See y'all next week. Peace.
Jerusalem, ikayalami.